Who's ready for an adventure? Good morning. Last night was cooler and quite windy. Blissfully not free of mosquitoes. They were still there for sure, but there were many, there were much fewer than the previous couple nights. So I was able to get a good sleep. This morning was cool and windy again. So for the first time in a while I actually slept in. I'm just getting up now. Not quite warming up yet, but I imagine it will once the sun gets a bit higher. It's still fairly cool. I'm wearing the jacket for a good reason. I'm about to head out in the canoe. Roy and I are going to do a little bit of fishing, and then we're going to go for a walk. I'm bringing my shovel as well, and after that, if conditions are favorable, then I'm going to dig up some rhizomes, do another harvest, because I'm starting to run low on those, and like I said yesterday, I really want to have a steady supply at all times. So that's the plan for right now. Nothing left but to go out there and do it. Along with shrinking quite a bit, my mussel pit is just about empty as well. I've got 2 lonely specimens left in there, so that might be another job for today. Redig and refill. So this change in weather from warm and calm to cool and windy has definitely decreased the number of mosquitoes around, which is very nice. It was interesting, as I was going to bed last night, the wind was coming from the south, and then there was a noticeable shift. It went from south to west to north in about 2 minutes. Shortly after that, the temperature dropped pretty quickly. But anyways, what we really could use though is some rain. I've noticed things are starting to get a bit dusty, and also rain would hopefully bring out a few more mushrooms. And I haven't noticed many mushrooms on my walk recently, but the majority of the fungus is actually beneath the ground, and the mushroom that grows up is only the fruiting body. So I know the area where I picked that orange bolete, the majority of the fungus is still there. If we get some rain, maybe more mushrooms will sprout out, and I'll be able to harvest those. Still can't get over how good that was. By far the best mushroom I've ever had. I would dare say it's been by far the most delicious thing I've had while I've been out here. Sometimes I go to sleep dreaming about it. Roy and I have now finished our walk, and I just pulled in on the east side of a little island here. Found a nice stand of cattails, and I'm going to go ahead and harvest some of these. This is a different spot than I did the first harvest. I want to spread it out so that I'm not depleting one area too much. I've chosen this area because it's sheltered from the wind and it still has some sun, so it's a little cool today. Normally I would be starting to think about heading back to camp and resting for the afternoon at this time, but I slept in, and like I said, it's a bit cooler today, so I'm going to continue working, and hopefully I don't end up regretting that decision. I brought plenty of water, so I'll be sure to stay hydrated. Also, this area not too far offshore, there's a little weed bed there, so I'm going to put a bobber on and toss my line out, see if I can catch something while I'm working. Now this is a very different substrate from last time. Last time was clay, so I had to get in there with my hands and dig a lot. This is a very loose, decomposed, I don't know what to call it, but it's muck. So the rhizome's coming up much more easily. I imagine I'll probably have a few leeches by the end of this, but I guess that's just one of the prices I have to pay. Also stinks a little. Well, I have to say, this is less cut and dry than in the clay. In the clay, there's a specific rhizome, you followed it, you pulled it up. It was harder to get, but you knew where it was, you knew where it was going. Here it's just a clump, a big mass, all sorts of root structures and decomposing material. And it's hard to follow the roots, the rhizomes. So I'm going to keep working at this, see if I can get the hang of it, and hopefully I'll get a good harvest out of it. Move into the shallows. Whoa, not the shallows, the softs. Jesus. Don't even really need the shovel at all. Now this little fella right here, a little shoot coming off. Just floating loosely, but I'd give it a nibble. And it's delicious. Not exactly sure what it is. It's part of the cattail though. A little shoot maybe, something like that. But yeah, it's really tender and sweet. Very good. This is a real friggin' mess. Thinking the working out of clay might even be easier, because here there's just so much crap that you have to sift through. A lot of dead material, rotting, and it's just in the way, making things tough. I know of a few more cattail patches around here, so I might relocate. You see a little shoot. There's one that is a clay bottom. When I'm done with this mess. Who knows when that will be though. The plus side of this is that so far anyways, the ones I've been digging up have been pretty large. few of these before moving on. Could be worth my while. The cattails kind of branch off in like a web. The rhizomes do, I should say. You get several shoots popping up along the way. So I'm trying to follow one branch and take it to its end, or its terminus, and then move on to the next one. This one's got a few branches coming off of it. Sharp little clamshells in here too. This is, I would guess, this is where a muskrat has been hanging out and eating, or perhaps an otter, given all the clamshells. Ooh. I'm headed here. Oh. Alright, I'm going to keep working away on this and making some progress. I'll come back and show you what this whole mass of cattail rhizomes is like once I've pulled it. I think I might finally have unearthed that whole conglomeration of rhizomes and the associated shoots. But here it is. Basically just tearing up the swamp, bringing the whole thing home with me. I was planning on going to another site and harvesting more. This is what I got from about 45 minutes to an hour's worth of work. A lot of that is going to be junk that gets tossed away, but there is a good bit of food in there, I'm sure. Just watching it all drain now into the back of my boat. But the wind's also picking up a little bit, so I don't want to overload myself, especially during the heat of the day, and then end up having a hard time making it back to camp. Just trying to find a way that you can see my face here. There we go. So yeah, I think I'm going to head back to camp now. It's afternoon anyways, it's about 1 o'clock. So I'll head back, have a little bit to eat, do some work processing these, and that should probably take me a good chunk of the day. I'm going to spread these out, give them a chance to dry. I pulled up at a different location this time because the water level keeps going down, and where I pulled in before was not particularly good, especially with a loaded canoe. So I'm just having to rethink things a little bit. This nice flat rock face, or sloped rock face, should hopefully give them a chance to drain and dry as well. So I'll do that, have some lunch, and then come back to this in the afternoon once things are hopefully a little less messy. Just a little follow-up observation. So these things that I was eating here, I would have to assume that that's the start of a rhizome, a new rhizome being laid down this year. Not 100% sure on that, but that's definitely what it looks like to me. You can see there's a core there. And the outer layer would become fibrous, the inner layer is starchy. But yeah, that's my best guess. So if anyone knows, feel free to comment, let me know. But that is my hypothesis at the moment. I've just finished up a lunch of all cattails pretty much. I had cattail shoots, some roasted cattail rhizomes from the last batch, and then a few of the fresh sprouting, what I assume are fresh sprouting rhizomes from this batch that I just picked. I've also got some yellow birch tea to go with it. So I haven't had any protein yet today, so I'm pretty hungry. I'm thinking that that is going to be my short-term priority now. So whether it is, well, I need to gather some freshwater mussels, and whether that is to use for bait to fish or to eat for dinner tonight, I'm going to need those either way. So after I finish my tea, I will get my wet clothes back on, go wade in there, grab a pail full or a pot full, whatever, and I need to redig my clam hole as well. So that'll be a couple tasks, and that'll probably get me to around dinner time. I anticipate I'll probably be having mussels for dinner for the first time in a while. That's just how she goes today. But yeah, so that's what I'm up to now, and it's clouded over a little bit, starting to get a bit cool, but you know what, it's fine with me. It's a nice change from the warm weather, because the warm weather brought the mosquitoes, and that's definitely a nice thing to be away from them for a little bit. Another chance to water my berries here. Three left. A new mussel pit. A lot of pollen in the water. Fortunately, the wind last night blew it away, but it was collecting on the shore quite a bit, getting in the way when I was trying to collect for drinking water. Anyways, I imagine I'll have to make this one deeper periodically as well, but there you have it for now. Do me for a while. I have a new friend. Just hanging out on my toes. Ta-da! Leeches are one of those few things that I really do not like. I don't think many people do. It's going to make it difficult. It's going where I can't find him. Up, yeah. There we go. Welcome to your new home. Well, the mussel pit has been dug. I've collected my freshwater mussels, and I've still got a good bit of daylight left. I could work on my birch bark container, could start processing those cattails, but I think I'm going to leave the cattails to dry a little while longer. Instead, I'm going to go out and do a little bit of fishing, see if I can get some better protein for this evening. I could, like I said, I could work on the birch bark container, but food comes first. So I'll get on that, and hopefully I can get some quick bites. If not, then I'll be eating mussels tonight. Something with some size to it. I guess it's a pike, given where I am and how it's fighting. Ooh, and that just got off. Damn. mussels are not the ideal bait. They come off the hook fairly easily. Fish eat them, which is a definite plus. But I find I keep going through more than I would with something like worms or leeches. I'd like to have minnows. And there is a way of making a minnow trap with a Coke bottle or a general soft drink bottle, 2-liter bottle. And there's actually there was a ginger ale bottle here at the site. Someone had thoughtfully left it behind for me. But I wasn't thinking and I destroyed it. So, oh well, live and learn. Got myself a little pike. Over here. Oh, feisty little pike. I just had a, not a huge one, but a good size pike come up and right beside the boat, take my bait in its mouth and then spit it out again without even taking the mussel off. Not so different from me, I suppose, just doesn't like the taste of mussel. But anyways, there is dinner for tonight, so I'm happy with that. I'll take a few more casts, and if nothing else, I'll head back and cook this guy up. Another feisty little pike on here. Probably about the same size as the first one. There you go. Doubling up. Dinner and breakfast for tomorrow. Or maybe just a big dinner. We'll see how I feel. So I'm taking Roy for his walk now. Do what needs to be done, because I believe that we have a storm on the way. As an aside though, I feel great. Tons of energy, even though I've hardly eaten anything today. Good sleep and some cooler temperatures are exactly what I needed. So I'm really glad we had that change in weather. If we get rain tonight, so be it. That's fine with me as well. Hopefully that'll mean more mushrooms in the morning. But yeah, we'll see. So that could be rain, it might not. But I don't like fighting with a wet fire. So I'm going to clean one of these fish, save the other one for tomorrow. Get the fire going right away. Cook it up. And then it's free to rain after that if it wants to. Just found myself a big old leech. See if I can catch it to use as bait. There we go. Just watching the clouds. The dark cloud straight ahead, but there's light behind that, so I think that's the sun shining from behind these clouds here. So it might actually clear up without raining on us, which, to be honest, would disappoint me a little bit. I do want rain, but we've got clouds everywhere you look. I saw it raining to the north, raining to the south, so we'll see. Got a little blue sky up there. We'll see what happens. Roy, can you watch this while I do stuff? You won't watch it. These have had a bit of a chance to dry. Now I'm just gonna dump them up here a little ways. In case we get high winds, I would hate to see my morning's work blow away. Still got a ways to go on these. A lot of processing to be done. we're getting there. I think we're going to be fine. I do hope we get rain. It's held off for now though. So Roy is fed. I'm going to be fed soon. Ready for the storm more or less. And yeah. Should probably adjust the shelter actually. I might bring the ridge line down a little bit in case we get high winds, and that'll make it more durable. So I've loosened this rope. Just going to slide it down a little bit here. Then I'll tighten it back up at the other end. Get the slack out. Just have a bowline tied at one end. Truckers hooked at the other. This down a little bit too. Might as well. Lock it in place. Now there's some good tension there, and on the ridge line I'm going to tighten these corners up a little bit as well. I've got them tied off, but I really wanted to keep them down. So for that I've just put some rocks on top there. I've done that at basically all of the corners of the shelter. Alright, so that's all I'm doing. Just getting the slack out of the tarp, and I think I'm good to go. So I was just taking a few casts here, but we're now starting to get that rain. I think I'm going to pack it in and do as Roy is doing. Head on up to the shelter. If it remains light, I might come back out. If it passes, I'll come back out. But yeah, otherwise I'm gonna cozy up in the shelter. Maybe write in my wilderness journal. Well, hello there. Roy and I are just cozied up in the shelter right now. Getting a little bit of rain, it's not too much. I don't know whether it's going to pass or not, but as of right now it's just a little sprinkle. Today's been a good day. Slept in, which was much needed. Harvested a decent amount of cattails. I learned a little something about the rhizomes, about how they're crunchy and delicious and edible when they're young, and then as they age they get the fibrous outer layer. Cook them up and you can eat the inside. That's about the extent of the day so far. There's still daylight left. I expect I'll probably get out there again unless the rain really intensifies, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna go too long. I do hope we get more rain though. It'd be nice if it rained overnight once I was already in bed for the evening. We need the rain. But I've done 21 days now. It's already at the end of week 3. I say already, but some days it's like, oh, is it only day 21? And other days it's like, oh, it's day 21 already. Very much depends on the day. Starting to get in the rhythm of things though. You find a need, you take care of it. It's basically what there is to it. It's simple enough, just day to day. Just taking it one day at a time, taking care of your immediate needs, and then if you have the time, take care of some future needs as well. Yeah, like I said, today was a good day. Well rested, well fed, well dressed as ever. Anyone who knows me can tell you that fashion is the utmost priority of mine. But I've done a weekly things that I miss, things that I don't miss, so I might as well continue that now. Things that I don't miss would be crowds and strangers, I guess. It's nice having the open air, lots of space, lots of nature without people to spoil it, and the noise that comes with them. Things I don't miss, I guess that would be noise. That's a big one. I like the peace and quiet. Things that I do miss would be specific people like friends and family. I'm really craving some social interaction, so I'm pretty excited and happy that I've got my brother and a couple friends coming on Friday. That's 3 days away, so I'm really looking forward to that. Things that I do miss would be variety of food. I'm keeping myself fed well enough, but yeah, it's a lot of the same. So a lot of fish, a lot of cattail shoots, cattail rhizomes, throw in some dandelions and bulrush shoots here and there, maybe a bullfrog or a mushroom, but it's pretty monotonous so far. I'm looking forward to the berries becoming ripe. That's going to be big for me. And I'm really hoping that this rain brings out some mushrooms that I can forage and bring back. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much all that immediately comes to mind. Enjoying the experience so far. It's been good. It's been very challenging at times. Oh, as a bug lands on my nose repeatedly. Things that I do miss. Definitely would have said yesterday and the day before, being able to go inside and escape mosquitoes. They were a real pain for those couple days. It's nice now that it's cooled off, provided a welcome respite from them because they were insane. Yes, that's a big one. Other than that, that's about all I've got right now, I think. Pretty happy with how things are, happy with how today went. So 3 weeks down, 5.5 more to go. At the start of this trip, I didn't like mosquitoes, but now I fucking hate them. And as a few nights ago, they are still really thick and persistent. And nature has its ways of controlling them. The weather. I'm surprised there are so many tonight. It's cool, no wind